Okay.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so now everybody, can you all hear me online? Thumbs up. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Good. Hi, Annie.
Hi.
All right. Anybody else have any buckets? Gratitude. We had one. I never like to stop at one. I always like to go to three. So, anybody?
Well, thanks to Meg for getting the heat going for a day.
We had her 1 day.
1 day.
It's coming back.
We're going for
Coming
2
back.
days next.
Yep. Yeah, we've had some issues for those that aren't in the building. We've had some issues with the heat. It's commercial buildings. That's what we deal with. It's either like we're literally on the face of the sun, or we are in the heat. So thank you, Meg, for handling that. Hi, Robert Stewart. All right, everybody. We're gonna move on, but if you think of anything of gratitude, you can interrupt at any time. All right, happy days. Donnie, Amy, Steph, Joanne, Phil, Lauren, happy birthday. Carrie Knudsen, happy birthdays, everybody. Very excited for you. And happy work anniversaries to those that have been here with us. Tom, Jeff, 2 years. Irish, Beth, Justin, Josh, Jody, Dave. Look at Dave Finnegan is old. Andy Manthai, Dan Eckholm. Look at Dan Eckholm.
That's awesome.
I don't know if he's here or not. He was here, but yeah. So congratulations, everybody. Fantastic. Cool stuff. And welcome to Tiffany Bolden. Tiffany, are you on? She might not be on yet today.
2 years.
Yep, I'm on. Thank you.
Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Can you just tell us a little bit about you and introduce yourself to the folks?
Yeah, well, so I just decided to do a career change. I went to school for nursing. After that, I did some call center work at some different insurance companies and then Comcast as well. So I decided to kind of switch gears and go into real estate. So I just became licensed just within the last 2 weeks here. So just excited to get started.
We're very excited to have you and excited that you've chosen to partner with us.
Thank you.
And can't wait to see your business grow. So welcome. Everybody do like a hand raise or a shout out or what we do on Zoom.
Thank you.
She's gonna do well because she had to work for Comcast for a while.
Yeah, 4 years.
And nursing. See, like all these things, right? We take care of
Takes care of people,
Yeah.
gets,
Yeah.
they say no to you a lot at Comcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's trained already.
I'm telling you. it's gonna rock. Welcome, Tiffany. We're super
Thank
happy
you
to have
so
you.
much.
All right. So congratulations, guys, for the month of January. So we're going to go through numbers today because it's the first team meeting of the month and we're going to go through statistics. However, the numbers tell a story. So we will take some time to talk about what that means. And huge shout out to our top individuals for the month of January for our closed sales volume. Kathy Foley, Dawn Crow, Robert Stewart, Denise Schoberg, and Sarah Brown. Congratulations. Top individual listings taken. Kathy Foley, Denise Schoberg, Robert Stewart, Sarah Brown. It's like a repeat. Sarah Brown, Heidi Novak, Lolu, and Dawn. Congratulations, everybody. Woohoo! Way to go. Nice work, individuals. And then for our top teams and groups, closed sales volume, Eckholm Group. Spearman Partners, Brian and Jackie, and they're doing it all from Phoenix. Or, wherever they're at, Scottsdale. The Success Home Team, the Duffy Homes Group, and Scotty Ringley Group. Congratulations on your closed sales volume in the month of January. And congratulations to our top teams and groups for listings taken in January. Success Home Team, way to go, Jonas and Holly and all the crew up there, Eric and Danielle and Lori and Nick. Congratulations to the Duffy Homes Group. Nice work. Scotty Ringley, congratulations. Fiorellas and Dailies. Congratulations, you guys. We should talk about how we're getting listings in January because there's like 3 listings. What was that day? Trent and I were talking and he's like, there are 3 listings because there were 4 and then.
There's 4 and then 1 went AI.
Yeah.
Like within minutes of me posting
3.
that. For where? In the whole city of Apple Valley, there was 4 active single family homes. Yep.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, it's insane. And then there's like multiple offer situations going crazy. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of seconds, but it's a little bit, it's good. Go out and make hay while the sun shines and start calling your database because this too shall pass. All right, so let's look at numbers. So this is KWRI, and the numbers here show us the month over month and the year to date. So you can see as a whole, our company at KWRI, month to month, our closed units are up 17%. So you can just kind of go down and peruse these numbers and then share with me what sticks out to you. Let's talk about this. Where's your ahas here?
Well, volume is up. That's a lot. That's awesome.
So volume, volume, volume. Where are we down?
Listings.
Yep. Listings, units and volume both down. Okay, we're going to talk about our numbers in a couple of slides here. This is so just so we know, this is everywhere, right? Listings are gold. So where's the opportunity for us?
Take more listings.
Robert Stewart is a man of few words. Is that Robert?
Yeah.
And when he speaks, it's like E.F. Hutton. Right?
Pinky up.
Take more listings. Okay, so how do we do it? How do we get more listings?
As Rob Stewart, a very wise man, told me, focus on them.
Yep.
Lead
So what are-
hit rate.
Focus on listings.
I think that as agents, we assume the public knows what's happening and they don't. So we have to share our story. You have to tell people what's going on. Like the calls that I'm making right now are to people saying, I understand you're probably not thinking about selling right now. However, if there's a little tiny bug in your system that's thinking in the next year, maybe it's time, you might want to speed that up. Because in this business, we only know what we know right now. So you can assume the market's going to be better a year from now, and it might be, but it also might be worse. So take what you know right now. If you can walk away, get what you want on your timeline, is it worth it? And that will make people think.
Is anybody having those conversations with their sellers right now? What are some of the things you're hearing when you call the sellers and ask them that very question?
Then I have to buy high.
Right.
And they don't understand that what the important thing is pulling the equity from the current one and then locking in a low rate, because affordability from month to month is way more important than what you're paying for it at the end of the day, for the most part, right? The price matters. I'm not saying the price doesn't matter, but being able to, if the equity is there for you to make your next move up and it's an affordable move up, it makes more sense to do it now and lock in a low rate over a long period of time than to wait for the market to shift so you can buy low, because that also means you're selling low probably,
Right.
and you're getting less cash out.
Right.
So all of a sudden that house that you want to make the move up to is not affordable anymore.
Exactly.
So, and also I've been telling people a lot of this story a lot is like, I'm sure all of you can agree. Remember like 3 years ago when we saw a market similar to this, or 2 years ago in the spring, and how many people would tell me, I'm going to wait. Market's going to crash. Market's going to crash.
I'm gonna wait for the market to come down.
And that same person, if they would have bought a house that day when they were talking to me, telling me that story, would probably be sitting on 10% equity 2 years later.
Yeah.
So again, don't try and predict things because you can't. You're probably going to be wrong. And just go with what you know right now.
Awesome.
One thing to take and build off what Trent was just saying is, like Trent was saying, you know, you can't, I mean, you can't make promises. You can't, there's no crystal ball. Obviously, none of us would have to be here today if we all had a crystal ball. But we'd all be here because we choose to be, right? But I have been using the data to really back up and drive home the points that a lot of people, like someone said earlier a few minutes ago, it might have been Trent, that people aren't aware. Like we assume people know what we know, and they don't. Couple quick stories was I'm working with a seller right now, a repeat client just said, hey, we're doing this, we need to move. Great. He literally talks to me, very intelligent guy, very smart guy, not a realtor, obviously, and says, is it a good time to sell right now? I if you could have seen the look on my face, I'm like, well, how do I answer that without? So he truly didn't know. I mean, I thought he was joking. And we started to share some of the data, and he was like, wow, oh man, I had no idea. And it drove home the point to me, like you're saying, that we can't make these assumptions. But beyond that, to further what Trent was saying a minute ago, when I show take the MAR data, I live on the MAR data. If you guys don't use that, I think it's wonderful stuff. Get that weekly report. Anybody who's worried about where the market's going or what's going on, all you can do, like Trent said, is talk about the now. This is what we know. We can't predict next week, next month, next year. But right now, you can show people and say, look at the last 2 years of price increases. Well, you can show them 8 years of price increases, but show them the last 2. We've been up, I think the number for December, for the end of December, we've been up $50,000 for median home price in the Twin Cities in 2 years, 50 total. Okay. Now show them the affordability index. It's better than it was 2 years ago because of the interest rates. Find me a better time when your value has gone up, the median price has gone up $50,000, and yet the affordability index is the same because of the interest rates. It's an amazing opportunity. And when you talk about the cliff, show them historical data of the blip we had from 08 until 12 and say, for the last 50 years, that was the only time we had a blip like that. Again, we can't predict the future, but there is a level of calm I see come over my clients' faces when they say, all right, so it's not scary to buy right now. I'm like, no, it's not. And I can sell for this premium. Yeah, you can. And you can buy at sub 3% on a 30-year. Ooh, maybe we need to do this. So I just give them the facts and I paint the picture in a very storytelling way that I see the level of calm come over them. So I don't know if that helps, but I live and die by the MAR data, and it's really been helping with a lot of these conversations. So
Thank you, Steve. Because I think we get, those of us that love data sometimes get lost in it, and we can't articulate the why behind the data. And then those that say, I just don't like numbers, they don't talk about them. They think that they don't understand them. But when you can tell a compelling story to your people as to how it's going to help them and their family, there's nothing like that. So I would highly encourage everybody, if you have not already started doing stories on Instagram or Facebook video clips, very short. They got to be short. Start doing that. Be the resource. And if you are scared of putting your face on Instagram and talking, we'll get over it because everybody has to do it. And yet I think we can be allowed, there's a lot of loud voices, right, in our world. Make sure that we are letting them hear the reality of it, the truth of it.
One thing that we use in this kind of market to separate us from your typical average real estate agent is your value prop to the sellers now is not sticking a sign in the ground and getting a first agreement, right? Anyone can do that. Like I tell homeowners on appointments, you could probably sell this yourself right now if you stuck a sign in the front yard, a whiteboard out front that said for sale. Someone will come and write an offer. But that's not why you're hiring us. You're hiring us to maximize your income and your net proceeds on this. And that is a strategy and an art form. And that's why you should get paid to do what you do. So you guys everybody has to understand your job changes when the market changes. Like your goal should not be to get a purchase agreement, it should be to get 10.
And to hold them together.
And to hold them together and to strategically use them to drive the price up. And the way you respond and the way you time everything, it's all part of the system. And so be aware of that too, because if you're up against another agent, that's something you can use to separate yourself.
Awesome. Okay, I don't see the things that are happening in the chat box, but I know there's a lot of pop boxes happening. So is there any questions that come up in the chat box that I'm not seeing? Oh, here we go. Okay.
I would agree that lower priced homes have appreciated more. However,
But
people,
they're
the
all over.
affordability, people are, I'm getting multiple offers on houses that are 700K plus.
Yeah, I saw that in the group.
And it's crazy out there. So, and in fact, so we have a buyer on Lake Minnetonka right now that's looking under 2 million. I remember 2 years ago, you could get a decent little place on the lake for like less than 1.5, 1.3. There's anything under 2 million is like a tear down or a fixer upper. So it's like the upper bracket is seeing change too.
Yeah. Awesome.
So this is a shifted market.
Ew.
Anytime in a shifted market, we need to communicate with more people. So these conversations are awesome. We just need to multiply it by 2, by 4. If you're making 3 phone calls a day, you probably need to make 6.
Yeah.
If your business is making 10 phone calls a day now, it probably needs to make 20. All of your solutions are pretty much in your database. You just got to communicate with it.
Yeah.
And that's the hard truth of it. We can
Talk to
make
more
it-
people.
You gotta talk to more people. We can make it really complicated, and yet we just need to reach out to more people.
We need to help more people.
And it's finding them at the right time.
Jen,
Yes.
Joby here. Callan and I just talked about it on a one-on-one, and he was asking me about how to maybe get those sellers off the fence. And Callan, why don't you just share what your idea was? Because it's a great one.
Oh, well, it was a couple people that had been in their homes a long time. So basically, this is not an original idea. I learned it from you guys, but it was just to do a quick and dirty CMA to tell them how much equity they have. Because a couple of them had been in their homes 15 years. And with the cold snap, they're ready to bail out of here. They're looking, he's going to North Carolina next week to see about living there. And so that's what I'm going to do for a couple of people.
Awesome. Yep. Talk to more people, offer more help. Because we think they know and they don't know. So they're either going to listen to us or they're going to listen to somebody else. All right. So here's our numbers, which are kind of fun to show. Kind of exciting. So, okay. So what this says is, this is the 13, this is MLS. Okay. This is us. And this is the difference, how we're outperforming the market. Now, I went ahead and I can hear like, okay, but this is because we're now 2 instead of 1 and we're using 2 data. Okay. Yeah, let's look at that. Let's look at that. All right, so closed sales volume. Closed units. Closed units this year are 54, month of January, 54. The closed units last year in January in the 2 offices, one was 31 and one was 22. Closed sales volume. Closed sales volume this year, 98,197,426 this year, the month of January. That's almost $100 million, folks. Okay, in a month. In 2020, we had, just to put it into perspective, in one of the offices, it was 6.3 million. In the other office, it was, I can't get to it quick enough. It was 8.8 million. All right, now, let's get some things taken. 35 over the 2 offices last year, one was 10 and one was 23. Listings taken volume, 65,608 and 597. So let's just call it 66 million for good measure. Last year at this time, in the month of January, one office was 2.3 million, the other one was 25 million. Commercial. All right, so then listings sold volume in 2021, 63.6 million. And 3.7 million was in one, 3.084 was in another. And then 2020, I know it's really hard for me to keep all these straight. Contracts written, 34 was in one in 2020, 25 was in another, and then in January of this year, it was 61. Contracts written volume. Last year, January, it was 7.7 million. Contracts written volume, it was 29 million. This year, 13.992 in the month of January. Closed GCI. One was 647. One office was 647. One office was 172. Together, we are at, I lied. One was 319. One was 171. We're at 760. I will keep doing this every month until I don't have to anymore. But it's good to know. Company dollar, company dollar. So this year, company dollar is 86,529 in the month of January. 2020, it was 28,000 or 46,000. And then profit share. You guys saw my fun thing that I did on Saturday morning, right? For those that were in the group. How much did we profit share? $14,000 in the month of January. And we had profit shared $329 and $150.
Can I jump on the gate on the profit share and
Sure, you
the
can.
14,000?
Should I say no?
111.
I want to say no, just to see what you do.
Just say it anyway.
I know.
You can take the last 10 years and add it all together in January, and it doesn't add up to what we did this month. Not only that, you can take all the last 10 years of all the Februaries from 2010 to 2020, add them all up, and it doesn't add up to what we did in January. And March is a different story, but you can go ahead and take 20 years of January and Februaries, add them all up, it doesn't add up to that number.
Stay away from profit share.
You want to join the growth committee? Okay, so here's the real truth. Remember when I said numbers tell a story? So we've been working together. Stop this so we can see people. Okay, we've been working together at combining these two families. We've been doing the Brady Bunch thing, right? We're gonna get real here, folks. It's not always easy, right? Because I'm a different mom and Jared's a different dad. Jeff, you're a different person than Sam. Lauren, you're a different person than Carissa. I'm gonna just pick people out. Jody, you're a different person than Sue. Together, we are better. The numbers tell us we are better. We just are. So we're in a different world, guys, because we're no longer behind the market. We're ahead of the market, and that takes a different set of skills, a different mindset, a different come from. Because now we get to chart our own course and we get to hit our own goals. Remember that saying that says, it's one thing to climb to the top, it's another thing to stay at the top. So I go to the Tom Brady thing, right? Tom Brady climbed to the top in his position in the Patriots, right? Whatever we have to say negative about Tom Brady or the guy that wears sweatpants, what's his name? Belichick, like, oh, he wears like a ratty old sweatshirt and sweatpants. Whatever we have to say about them, Tom did something right because he came down to Tampa and then he got a Super Bowl ring. I'm just saying, he figured out how to stay on top. We get to chart our own course. We're better together. More profit share means more money for your families. Amen.
At 1 o'clock tomorrow, there'll be a profit sharing class. That being said, and it'll be, we're doing an interview. It's recorded because Gary was busy, but it's the Papazans and Gary Keller talking about wealth building and the mindset of wealth building, and then it rolls into profit sharing. So I highly, highly suggest you get their point of view on what wealth building is and profit sharing. And I also, if you have a spouse, have them watch it with you. Because it's all about financials. Dave Finnegan's going to come in here shortly and tell us about wealth building as well. I can feel it. With that being said, profit sharing class tomorrow.
Because you're talking about me.
It's just honestly like, no one's in control here. No one. It's super, so
What's the
exciting.
agent growth been over the last year? Net, I guess.
We are at 151 in our agent count. And we were at 68 in one of the offices and we were at 78 in the other. So we're at 151 at this point. So, cool. I know this doesn't work whenever I switch in and out of it. How do I advance my screen when I'm?
Go back to the PowerPoint, share your screen,
Okay.
click on to that PowerPoint.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Gary J and Wendy Profit Share Production. Who's all signed up for Family Reunion right now? Okay, so I'm going to highly encourage those that are not signed up yet to go ahead and sign up. This is a digital experience, as you all know. We watch it from the convenience of our home. But I'd like to ask a quick question. How many of us have been in multiple offers in any of our deals over the last couple of days? Do I see any hands on the screen? Anybody in multiples? Yeah.
People only had 26 yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I wanted to ask that question because if you were able to take a class that says something about how to win in multiple offers, and you just picked up one thing. Now, granted, we already know a lot of really cool stuff and we share a lot of cool stuff within our group already. And I just want to ask, if you knew that you could take a class in the comfort of your own home with your warm shawls, and you would be able to just pick up one thing, what's our average commission? Yeah, $9,462 gross commission average right now. So I promise you that you will pick something up. If you need to go to this website to look at the agenda, otherwise I have a printed one as well. And please, please, please reach out to Meg if you have any questions. If you'd like to put it on your invoice, we can go ahead and register you for that. We have, I think right now we've got 8 guests that are joining us. And I think we have a total of 26 signed up so far. I want to say our goal, if we were to do 20%, our goal would be 30 people. I think we can absolutely exceed that, knowing that we don't have to hop on a plane and fly into Vegas and go and stay in hotel rooms and walk 73 miles to the convention center and back. Even though we miss that. I don't know about you, but I miss that. I do. So please tap into this, everybody. If you haven't had the opportunity to take a look at any of the videos, we will have one right now to share with you what is coming.
Hello, Keller Williams. It's Marlise, your KWRA HQ correspondent, here to walk you through some of the hottest new features of the Family Reunion digital platform. This year, the world's largest real estate training event looks a little different, but you can expect cutting-edge vision, innovation, breakouts, and culture to prepare you to win the real estate market of today and tomorrow. Let's start with the exhibit hall, where you can find the exhibitor you're looking for based on the business problem you're trying to solve. And while you're bouncing around, you can keep up with what's happening on the main stage thanks to the sticky video player that stays on the bottom of your page, even if you leave your virtual room. Just don't leave your physical room. We're also thinking way outside the Zoom box with interactive workshops, breakout sessions, master classes, and my personal favorite, game shows. But the real theme of this year's event is connection, and there are plenty of ways to do it. Connect with Gary and other headliners through emoji reactions in the general session chat. Connect with your fellow attendees and grow your referral network by bouncing around the new topic and role-based chat rooms. And connect with your friends and followers by recording and sharing custom video and photo content in the virtual social studio. All you need is an internet connection and a passion for growing your business. There's so much more that's going to set FR apart from any other real estate conference this year. Insights from the industry's biggest names, a library of video recordings you can access during or after the event, and the final round of the first ever KW Script Off Championship. But it's best if you experience it all for yourself February 15th through 18th by registering for Family Reunion today. See you there.
Any questions on Family Reunion? Any questions from the Zoom room?
No questions, but I do have something to say. So I'm a huge, big believer in both events, Mega Camp and Family Reunion. And I would tell everybody to don't look at it as a learning opportunity for you. Look at it as your clients need you to be going to these things. Because if you're not that class, How to Win in Multiples, do you think a buyer would be disappointed to find out you had a chance to go to that and you didn't, but they keep losing in multiples? If you're not open to learning better ways to do business, you're just going to keep losing. And some of my listings that get multiples, I learn more from the offers that come in on those about how I could win the next one for a buyer.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I get 10 offers on a property, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a genius way to approach it. And then I go into the next one with the buyer and I use that. And so you would be really selfish to not take advantage of an opportunity to do better for your people, especially for an insane price. I mean, how much is it now? It's like less than $200 or something.
150.
It's crazy.
And again,
so
we'll put it on your
owe it to your
invoice.
people.
You gotta go.
You owe it to your people to,
You can
to be
access
the best.
Registering right now for 129.
Yay! They haven't
Thank
upped
you,
it
Brian.
yet.
I think today's the last.
Yeah, today's the last day you can get
Do
one.
it today.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. No. Do it today.
And Meg will even
Yep.
do it for you.
Yes.
All it is one
Oh,
email.
man. Just shoot an email. And the good news is, we're also gonna have access to all of the recordings. So that if you by chance have a listing appointment during that time, you can still go back and watch it.
And I think you get that content for a month once everything is posted.
Yeah.
You can go back and
Go
watch
back,
it
rewatch.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Are we going to be doing anything here in the market center?
Yeah, we're gonna stream it. We just have to be mindful of like people that have actually signed up to go. We want to
Sure.
make sure that it's available to them. So we will have it here in the training
Yeah,
room.
so all the
The main
events,
stage.
the KW stage, that's available to everyone on KW Connect as well.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing a day.
Yeah.
That will be playing in this
Cool.
training room.
Yeah. And you got to hear Gary's market update because I don't know if you know this. How many of us have gotten called from a different company to recruit us?
Yeah.
Me, they're recruiting me. Yeah, okay, so let's just have a real conversation about this. There are agents that are joining other companies, and in conjunction with joining another company, they're also coming out with, hey guys, sell your house with me for a flat fee of $5,000. Why would you pay a real estate agent top dollar? These are realtors that are doing this. So what I want you to understand is that is degradation. It brings it down, whatever that big word is, but it's going to affect us. So wouldn't it be helpful for us to involve ourselves in other trainings where agents that may have encountered this at a different time can share with you what they talk about when they too are starting to see erosion of their commission, compressions of their commissions. Anything to add from the Zoom rooms?
I have something to add. I feel I have gotten a few calls, received some things in the mail recently with recruiting. And I guess my overall feeling is like, who has time to even think about that? Like, focus on your business. Like, that is such a shiny object of, it's different over here. Grass is greener, whatever. Like, we have so many amazing resources here, and like, don't even take the time. Like, that is just white noise and time spent away from where you could be spending time helping more people. That's my take.
Thank you, Sue. That's so true. If you're struggling, call me. If you need somebody to talk through things with, I had a meeting with an agent who was considering a different vein. And we talked about it and we said, okay, well, let's just look apples to apples. I said this to him. I said, if you feel like that's going to be a better thing for your family, I would never hold you back from that opportunity. But let's look apples to apples, not shiny penny that you see on an Insta story. Because let's look at it. And then you can decide. But talk to me about that. Because we are in the business of helping agents grow. We are in the business of helping people grow. When Jared and I aligned together, it was because we knew that we could help more people grow. Whether that means that we all stay together for the end of time, yeah, we would love that. And if not, if they decide that they want to move to Phoenix or Scottsdale and open up a clay pot shop, we are going to help them do that. Clay pots, it's a thing. But because we're in the business of figuring out how to help people grow. So I would encourage you, we do that all the time. We're doing that right now. We have had conversations with Maggie, who is the love of my heart, and I adore her. Meg, myself, Lauren, and Blake, we've been a great team together. And Maggie said, you know what? I've had this dream of doing a business at home, and I want to do this. And I don't think that the role that I'm in right now is going to allow me to do that. And I don't think it's where I want my passion to be. And I could have been, I could have said, you know what? No, you're staying here. You're going to do your job. No. I was like, awesome. Great. Let's figure that out. So Maggie's going to move on and open up her own business. It's an organizational business from her home, not related to real estate at all. She is still working with us. She's just doing it at a different capacity. She's going to be working solely with me on the recruiting aspects of it while Meg and Lauren and Blake are here in the office. And that opens up an opportunity for more people to join us. So we are looking for an agent service coordinator to help us. If you know of a talented person, we want no donkeys. We do not want donkeys. We only want thoroughbreds. But if you know of somebody that has some interest, please reach out to us. And we'll keep you posted on the front with Maggie as she continues. But right now she's still working with us. If there's any questions with that, please reach out to me. We've also had Tim approach us. He's had a great opportunity to move on and open a commercial division and lead the commercial division in a different company. And so while it's very sad to see him go, we would absolutely want him to grow that. And that's what his passion is to do. So if you have any questions with that, please reach out to me. We can absolutely talk about it. So please send me any referrals that you might know. Send them to myself or Meg. Yeah, we're in the business of helping people grow. So there you go. Any questions, comments, concerns, ahas? Cool. Right, now I share again. All right, we're gonna get this figured out, guys, with the technology. Bear with us. We appreciate you understanding. Okay, so we're gonna literally zoom through a few of these slides because we've already hit them real closely. But just go to family reunion agenda and sign up for that. Script practice, Logan, 9:30 in the morning.
Love to see you.
Would love to see you.
More attendance. Be
Okay.
awesome.
All right.
More people involved would greatly benefit.
More people. So where should they go?
There's a Zoom link on the calendar online,
Yep.
or there is in person too, but Zoom would be awesome if and then there's breakout rooms.
Nice. Thank you. And guys, for Ignite, for those of us in the LC program, I think you can agree with me that we've had phenomenal trainers for our Ignite sessions. And so a big thank you to everybody that's contributed on that of their heart and of themselves. I had exceptional feedback from, you know, 2 of the members that I'm close with in the LC program. Yeah, no, they're like, Mom, they're so smart. Yeah, I know they are very smart. So thank you, everybody. What's coming up next is, let's just see here. Oh, Cherie. Cherie's coming up. Shannon, I don't know what date it is right now. So, oh yeah, Shannon, Cherie, and then next week is Holly. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. Profit share class, we've already talked about that, Mr. Krentz. Dave Finnegan. Dave Finnegan?
Hey, thank you.
Mhm.
Can you move on to the next slide?
Sure can.
There we go. Oh, I guess you got to play it through. Play it all the way through, please. There we go. All right.
Call me Vanna. Might be one more.
You're a real estate agent, right? Say yes.
Yes.
You want to be wealthy, right?
Yes.
There we go. Say yes. You know more about the local real estate markets than just about anybody. Suppose, picture this. Suppose you found a way to purchase a starter home in a nice neighborhood and rented it to a nice young family. What would happen to your wealth, your bank account, your family, your trajectory if you own that house for 10 years? That family or a series of families continue to rent it from you over the years and pay down your mortgage over time. What if there was a book that could show you step by step how to do that, how to own rental properties, how to find opportunities, create deals, and build wealth for yourself and your family? What if there was a book club about this book right here in the Market Center? Well, guess what? There is. We're kicking it off March 4th, 1 p.m. It'll be an 8-part series. We'll get into some mindset stuff that's in the book. More importantly, though, we're going to get into action. So my intention is to create weekly, bi-weekly, monthly action steps to take to get you on the path to creating wealth for yourself. We'll form accountability groups. We'll go do our homework. We'll come back and we'll share lessons learned, and we'll share success stories. And as a group, we'll all grow in terms of our expertise and our knowledge base. We'll figure out ways to find capital to do these deals, and we'll go be wealthy. So like I mentioned, March 4th, 1 p.m. first session. The rest of them will be on the training calendar. It's great for you. It's great for your clients. It's great for your friends. It's great for your friends in real estate who aren't with Keller Williams yet. So leverage it that way if you want to.
Thank you, Dave.
You're
And
welcome.
March 4th is when that book club starts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Lauren's got it on the calendar, so.
Okay, perfect. Fantastic. Jody, can you give us some updates? Speaking of leverage coaching.
Good morning. I sure can. I want to first say welcome again to Tiffany. Congrats to Lolu, Shannon, and Sarah on their closings. And then I wanted to congratulate Sarah and Ben on their winning the contracts quiz yesterday in Ignite. And they won one-on-one coaching with me. So it's a big, big win for them.
Congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
They got, I think, 18 out of 21 questions correct. So pretty challenging quiz, I'll tell you. So they did very well. Thanks to the Ignite instructors. Yes, you mentioned earlier, I want to thank Holly, Trenton, Carissa, Jason, Daly, Abby, Sue, and yesterday, Diane. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially during your, I think most of your lead gen time block. So I appreciate that, as do the agents, and they've learned tons and it's going great. So thanks for everyone's help and support. Tomorrow is Shannon. She's doing a buyer session on buyer consultations tomorrow. And then Holly's, actually Cherie is back up again for making and receiving offers this Friday. And so appreciate them doing that as well. And then Holly Monday, John Sauber is next Wednesday. And then I finished the series already next Friday. So it's gone really fast and really well. And the attendees have been so immersed, and great questions and motivation, and really checking in and attending every session. We've had up to 20 people, averaging about 17 per session, which is amazing. So I'm grateful to all of the people that have been involved and helped and supported it. And
So
then-
good.
Yeah.
So good. And I know that there's been some agents that are seasoned agents that have sat in on some of the sessions. So know that you're welcome. You're welcome to join us if you want to brush up on some of those topics that we've covered in Ignite. Check the calendar, kwselectagents.com, go to calendar, take a look at that. Fantastic. Wisconsin, any Wisconsin updates?
Today at 1 o'clock. No, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we have a broker class. Wednesday, 1 o'clock, we're going to cover listings.
All right.
How to do those docs.
So all of you Wisconsinites, take a look at that. NAF, Tom R. I see you've been in the chat room.
I had to unmute myself. Sorry about that. So Abby and Tom are both out on vacation somewhere, so you're stuck with me, probably on a beach or something. But
You're our favorite anyway. Don't tell them, but you're our favorite.
I thought I'd talk a little bit about, because of the market that we're in right now, it's pretty impossible. I'm sure you agree, to get sellers to pay closing costs right now. I'd say in the past, probably 50% of first-time home buyers could get 3%, negotiated into the price, and now it's less than 10%. So there is an alternative for your first-time home buyers that are short on cash, or maybe a little bit short, where we could increase the interest rate in exchange for contributing money towards their closing costs. So it's kind of like a reverse discount point, if you look at it that way. Normally, if somebody paid, say, 2 points, they could get a 0.5% lower interest rate. So you can go in reverse of that, and we add a 0.5% to the rate, and we could contribute 2% towards their closing costs. So in exchange for a 0.5% rate, they would save $4,000 on a $200,000 loan. And it's kind of a hard sell with buyers because everyone wants lowest rate, right? But if you look at it, sell their house, they're actually going to have $4,000 more in their pocket than if they would have negotiated or bumped the price by 2% for the seller to pay the closing costs. So really, it's just adding roughly $35,000 or $35 a month to their payment, but in exchange for $4,000. So it's a hard sell, but it's a better deal for the clients if they're going to sell their house within the first 10 years. The break even's about 9 years on it. So just kind of a last ditch creative effort to get somebody in who is short on cash.
Thank you for that. That's awesome. Any questions, guys, about that for Tom? Thank you, Tom.
Does that help too if it doesn't appraise? I mean, can they use that to cover those costs if?
Yeah, whenever we're really tight on a situation, and the numbers just something happens, that's a quick way to get cash. Somebody might be locked at 3%, we'll bump the rate by a 0.5%, even midway through the process, just to help them out with cash if something didn't work out. I mean, the other nice thing is you don't have to worry about the house not appraising as much because you're not bumping the price up front for the seller to pay closing costs. If you look at it that way, you're back to the base sales price, assuming you're just offering full price instead of bumping the price 2 or 3%, where that's when you have the appraisal issues.
Good question. Good question. Thank you, Tom R.
You bet.
Appreciate it very much. Fantastic. I was talking to an agent today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick, and then Lily, you can get ready for the video. I was talking to an agent this morning who called me, and they had just gotten they'd lost out on another offer, and they were having a hard morning. And so you know, I let him talk for a little while, and then I said, okay, so what do you think you need to do right now to do a pattern interrupt? Because this is, you know, as all of us here in the rooms know, this is a thing. You might be writing 30 offers, right? It's like a thing. So I said, so what do you think you need to do right now? And he said, I don't know, which is totally normal. And I said, okay, so if I were across the table from you, what would you tell me? And I said, and he said, I'd probably tell you to get over yourself and move on. And I said, okay, so get over yourself and move on. I said it nicer than that. Here's what I will encourage you to do. When you've just lost out on your 16th offer, when you've just called that 12th for sale by owner and they have told you, never call me again. When you get hung up from your sphere after you're like, just wait a minute, I came to your kid's birthday party. And they're like, yeah, take me off your list. Okay. When you get the notification from Kelly in command that your text that people are just like, stop. Has that ever happened to anybody else? I have 143 of them right now. Here's what I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you to be a Mr. Jensen. What I would encourage you to do is think outside yourself for just a couple of seconds and be a Mr. Jensen. Either write a gratitude note, pick up the phone and call somebody and tell them that you're thankful for them. Walk outside your office, take a lap, right? Do all the swear words in your head, take a lap, and then find somebody that you just want to encourage. When you do that, it changes the trajectory of your focus. And it allows for us to more quickly rebound. We're all going to have days when we feel like we're the ball. What's that? You feel like you're the bug or the windshield, right? You're going to feel like you're being dropped. We're going to feel it. How quickly can you bounce yourself back? The ones that can bounce themselves back are the successful ones in our industry. The ones that can bounce themselves back will be the ones that on their tombstone, it says, I'm a realtor. That's Gary Keller. Gary Keller will not quit. And so I want to be in that frame. And so I found this video. I've watched it a bajillion times, and I hope that you enjoy it as well. It's called Be Mr. Jensen.
A lot of memories from when I was a child. One that's always stuck out to me, though, was when I was about 10 years old, and I was in school, and I struggled. And I didn't struggle with English, math, or science. I struggled holding still. And I would try to listen and focus and process ideas, but I couldn't help myself. And to be honest, I would sit there and then I would just start tapping. And the students in the class would look at me and they'd say, hey, stop tapping. A lot of the time, I didn't even realize I was doing it. And then eventually even the teachers got after me and they would yell at me and they'd say, Clint, you have to stop tapping. It got so bad that I got sent to the principal's office for tapping. And he said to me, okay, maybe when you go back to class, just try sitting on your hands. And so I did. I went back to class, and when I felt myself starting to tap, I did this. I sat on my hands. And that worked for about 5 seconds. One time I was tapping in class, and my teacher, Mr. Jensen, he looked at me and he yelled. And he said, Clint, stay after class. And I thought to myself, this is it. I am done. Now, I've always been the type of person that believes that a single moment in time can change a person's life. And this was one of those moments for me, and I will never forget it. And so I was sitting there with Mr. Jensen and an empty classroom. And he walked past me and he sat next to his desk and he said, Clint, come here, I want to talk to you. And as he looked me right in the eye, he said, now I need you to know something, you're not in trouble. But I do have just one question that I have to ask you. And he asked class, he said, have you ever thought about playing the drums? And in that moment, Mr. Jensen, he leaned back and he opened the top drawer of his desk. And he reached in and he pulled out my very first pair of drumsticks. And he held them in his hands and he looked at me and he said, hey, Clint, you're not a problem. I think you're a drummer. From that moment on, I've never put those sticks down. I've toured, recorded, and played drums all over the world. My whole college education was paid for with drumsticks in my hand. Just because of a single moment in time when somebody believed in me. And he saw something in me that I didn't even see within myself. And from that moment, I learned that there's a difference between being the best in the world and being the best for the world.
So I would encourage you, find your moment to be a Mr. Jensen, because there's a pretty good chance that Mr. Jensen may not have had a very good day, but after that moment with Clint, he had a better day. So I appreciate you all. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be your team leader. Make sure that you sign up for Family Reunion, that you reach out if you have any questions, and give us referrals for anyone that's talented that you know that would be a good fit for us. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.